I would have done the same thing. It's the consequences of your actions. I don't think he's an asshole. Hello, my beautiful peoples. You guys seem to really love my Am I the Asshole video, so we got another one today. The last video we did was about like relationships, you know. This time I chose to find ones about like family. So it's gonna get a little crazy up in here. Yeah, I have absolutely no idea what these are about. I literally just pick them based on the title. So let's get started. I'm a little nervous. Okay. The first one. Am I the asshole for telling my parents they need to learn to live without me? Oof, okay. My parents have a lot of kids. They always wanted a big family and were not prepared for how hard that would be. I'm 17 male, the oldest of 10, and my parents have relied on me for so long that I don't remember a time where I wasn't treated like a third adult in the house. I felt that. My siblings range from 15 down to 4. My parents are still technically able to have more kids too because neither are 40 yet, and it scares me, I won't lie. Ooh. We already struggle so much with 10 of us, and I know it would be worse if they added more, especially when I'm so close to moving out. In our house, we have a boys' room, a girls' room, and our parents' bedroom. We basically all sleep on these tiny ass bunk beds in order to fit everyone in. Nobody gets brand new clothes, it's all thrifted for me, and our younger brothers and sisters get our hand-me-downs. It was expected I would step up by the time I was 5. Jeez. I had to make mine and my siblings' beds. I had to tidy up after my younger siblings. I had to stop my younger siblings from climbing onto things, and I was also expected to clean the floors. Over time, more chores were added to my list. Helping to cook, babysitting, even when I was too young really. Helping with homework, holding my siblings' hands when we went grocery shopping so they wouldn't run off. Cleaning the bathrooms, cleaning both boys' and girls' bedrooms. Tidying up if we were having guests, especially if anyone had friends over. My siblings weren't really given chores, and I was basically doing just as much as my parents around the house. My siblings relied on me too much, from driving them places to picking them up from places to giving them permission for stuff. My parents let me give permission where I know they would. They expect me to buy them stuff. They come to me more than our parents, and sometimes come to me after our parents if they don't like what our parents said. This is just reminding me of my life, and I'm getting triggered. They get pissy whenever I try to get them to help out, and our parents won't back me up, so they have never done any kind of chore or helped me at all. They get so mad when I ask. They say I'm not mom and dad, but then they also won't go to mom and dad for shit most of the time. My parents started freaking out because I'll be 18 in October, and they know I plan to move out. Good for you. I also work part-time, and that gets relied on to help financially. In between that and all I do around the house, it finally dawned on my parents that I won't be around in a few more months. They started word vomiting all this on me, and I told them they need to learn to live without me because it's not my job to be the third parent in the house anymore. They told me I'll still be a part of the family and I just can't abandon them. I said I will not support the household after I turn 18 because it won't be my job. Am I the asshole? No, honey, you are not the asshole. Do not ever feel like you are. Ooh, this is getting me bad. Oh my god. I feel like I don't know how to tackle this because I feel like someone's gonna be like,
Pamela, why would you say that? You don't know what they're...
I'm gonna be just real honest. Do not have children, let alone multiple children, and not be financially able to take care of them, because why are you cramping that many kids in one bedroom? That's already like crazy. I do not care what you're gonna say. That is crazy. I get it, maybe like max 3 kids in a room. Sure. You're telling me you have 5 in one room, 5 in another room, all different ages. I talked about this in my generational curses video. Your oldest is not a third parent. I talk about this all the freaking time. Your oldest child is not the third parent. You do not have kids to make your oldest children the parent. That is literally your job. That is your job. There's so much I want to say, but it's like, it's common sense. You think, let me read these freaking comments because I'm like literally about to... Okay, I love this one. It says, go live your best life. You've been forced to be an adult the majority of your 17 years, and it's time that you're only responsible for yourself. Your parents created this mess. Now that they are finally forced to deal with all of it, ignore the guilt trips, thank you, that your parents and siblings will dump on you. Family too, by the way. It's way past time for them to step up. I'm saying, this makes me so angry and sad at the same time, because I personally went through it where my parents literally made me raise my sister, and I feel like I had no freaking childhood because of it. So, and I know there's so many people out there that go through this. You are not the asshole. Please do not think you are. You're going to have a gorgeous life outside. Like, the world does not revolve around your family. I promise it doesn't. Isn't there a case like this? Swear to God, there's like cases out there. I forgot the family's name, where they have like a whole bunch of kids and they were really just getting like abused. That's a different story. In conclusion, you're not the asshole. Your parents really are, though. On to the next. Okay, am I the asshole for refusing to let my family move in because my 16-year-old son doesn't want them to?
Oh my God.
Interesting. This one's pretty short, but I have a feeling it's gonna tell us all we need to know. About 5 years ago, my husband cheated on me, then abandoned our family. It was an incredibly difficult time. I was left alone to raise our son, who was just 11 at the time. None of my family members offered any help or support. I'm already annoyed. We were essentially on our own. The only person who helped us was my father, who was a great support system, both emotionally and financially. When my father passed away 2 years ago, he left me a significant inheritance. This money allowed me to buy a house, provide a stable and comfortable life for my son and me. Aww. Since my husband left, my son and I have become very close. We've been through a lot together, and our bond is incredibly strong. I would do anything for him. Recently, some of my extended family members have fallen on hard times and asked if they can move in with us. Given our history, I was intentionally hesitant. I discussed it with my son, and he was very much against the idea. I am too. I don't even need to hear more. He remembers how nobody was there for us when we needed them the most, and feels strongly that they shouldn't benefit from our home now. Period! Understanding his feelings and valuing his comfort, I decided to tell my family that they couldn't move in with us. Now, they're upset and accusing me for being selfish and ungrateful. I knew this was the route it was going down. They say that I owe them support because we're family. Before I even finish this, let me tell you something. Come here. Let me tell you something. I don't care who you are. If you are never there for me, I don't care if we're blood. Simply, fuck you. Because what? I don't care. I don't think I'm an asshole, and honestly don't care what they think as long as my baby is happy. W mom, period. But I still want to hear other people's opinions. So, am I the asshole for refusing to let my family move in because my son doesn't want them to? Especially considering the way they treated us when we were the ones in need. You were not the asshole. You're not. You're literally not. I knew this one was going to be short, but it was going to tell me everything I needed to know. The audacity. Wait, I want to read this. Someone said, send a group text or chat and tell them that you will give them the exact same level of support as you got when your husband cheated and took off and you were left raising a child on your own. Simple as that. And they will either get the message and leave you alone or start pandering on you with excuses. If they start with the excuses, I'd go even more petty and use the same excuses back at them. Brilliant. Someone said, when they say selfish and ungrateful, I would ask what precisely they think she should be grateful for. Cause what? Try again. Next one. Alright, I know I get pissed off real easy with these, but this one also really did piss me off. It says, am I the asshole for not giving my daughter a car for her 16th birthday and cutting her off financially? Now, before you say anything, I know this can go either way. You don't have to tell me. It could go either way. Let's read together. I, 48 male, have a daughter Lisa, 15 female, from my first marriage. I'm not on particularly good terms with her mother, and Lisa unfortunately became an outlet for her resentment towards me, which ended up souring our relationship massively. Lisa is a good person, but unfortunately she takes after her mom in terms of demeanor and often acts rude and entitled. A few years ago, I married again. Lisa decided to not attend my wedding and said a bunch of hurtful things to my then fiance, Rosemary, 38 female. Since then, our relationships got even worse. See, I knew it had to go either way. I knew it. Since then, our relationship has gotten even worse. When Rosemary and I welcomed our son a year and a half ago, Lisa sent me a text saying that since I have my perfect baby now, I could stop pestering her and trying to play family with her. It hurt me deeply, and Why do I have like a stroke every single time I try to freaking read? Okay. It hurt me deeply and I ended up distancing myself from her, though I kept sending her $100 a month as her allowance. Recently, we had an unplanned addition to our family. Long story short, Rosemary's sister, who wasn't a good parent to start with, terminated her custody rights over her son Blake, 17 male. Rosemary and I decided to take Blake in. Unfortunately, a few years ago, Blake got into a horrible car wreck that left him permanently disabled. Luckily, he can somewhat walk and doesn't need 24/7 assistance around the house, but that's about it. Blake is an amazing person and he quickly became part of our family. I decided to give the $100 allowance to Blake instead. Even though $100 isn't like a lot, but I can see where this would go left. Okay. He was beyond happy and grateful. I also made a hard decision and gave him my car. And I was planning on getting rid of it this year anyway, since Lisa is turning 16 in a month, and I wanted to give it to Lisa. Now it's Blake's car, and he absolutely loves it. He really needed a car because his mobility issues doesn't let him get around easily anymore, and it changed his life massively. Sweet. Of course, Lisa didn't like it. Yikes. When she realized that she wasn't getting any allowance, she called me and asked what's wrong. It was the first call I received from her in a year, if not more. I explained that now when my family had expanded, I'm not having enough money. I'll still send her mom the child support payments as per court agreement, but she shouldn't expect anything extra. She asked me about the car since she knew about my plans on giving her a car. I told her that now the situation changed and I no longer could give her the car. I'll admit what I said next was probably asshole-ish of me, since I told her that I now have 2 children to play family with and asked her to stop pesterizing me. This caused her to blow up completely to the point that she got her mom to call me and scream at me, so did her new husband. They threatened to sue me. Lisa said they'll go no contact and so on. I just brushed off the threats, and especially since Rosemary's a lawyer, I made my peace with poor contact with Lisa years ago. They also managed to write a few mean things to Rosemary and Blake, and this is what got me wondering whether I was an asshole here.
Few minutes later.
Okay, I'm gonna be real honest. When I finished reading this, which to you was a second ago, to me was like 20 minutes ago. I finished reading this. I was like, he's not the asshole. She did. I would have done the same thing. It's the consequences of your actions. I don't think he's an asshole. She knows right from wrong. I took some time and I reanalyzed things. And I understand why people in the comments were saying that he is the asshole. I get it now. Let's break this down. He has a daughter from his first marriage, right? They got divorced a few years before. So he mentioned she was 15. They technically got divorced when she was like, 11, 12, preteen, right? He's not good terms with her mother. She got an attitude, Then he got married, had a new family. She said a few hurtful things to his new family, tries to send her $100 a month as her allowance, promises her a car, doesn't give her a car, gives it to Blake. You get the gist of what goes down after that. Okay, why I initially thought he wasn't the asshole at first is because I was like, oh, but she's like a teenager, she knows right from wrong, she was disrespectful, so like that's the consequences of her actions. Then I thought back into like what a divorce can do to a child, because she's 11, 12 years old. That's a child, okay? Especially if you have a father who isn't really trying, how that really could affect you. So why now I do think he's kind of the asshole is because her attitude and her demeanor and why he says that she was rude and entitled, it makes sense. She's a child watching her parents go through a divorce. He says, I ended up distancing myself from her. It's like, okay, I get it. She did say a few hurtful things, but as the adult, I think you should have took time to kind of like understand why she's reacting the way she is and be her father and make her feel like a priority. I don't know. There's like a few pieces of the puzzle missing, so I can't like fully give you like a whole. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. Let me just read a few comments that got me like really thinking. Okay, you're the adult and haven't acted like it for basically her entire life. She was what, 10, 11, 12 when you divorced? You distanced yourself because a child said something mean? Oh my god, seriously? Will you do the same when your son does the same? Because guess what? No teen has absolutely positive relationship with their parents. More than likely, your kid will say 1, they hate you, 2, you're ruining their life, 3, they didn't choose to be born, or something similar. So will you just dip when he gets to that stage. You see what I'm talking about? Yeah. That got me thinking. Then somebody said, like, kind of piggyback, they were like, that just makes it worse. It also explains her outburst. If he distanced himself for that long, then yes, of course she feels that way. You were her father. You stepped out of her life over silly, childish comments that she probably just repeating from her mother. Instead of stepping up and being there, you paid her off with $100 for allowance. You then made a promise, which probably meant a lot to her. Then you went back on that promise in favor of another kid. See, that part right there is where I was originally on his side, because I was like, oh, she was disrespectful, so she doesn't deserve anything. Then I thought about it, I'm like, wait, she's just a fucking kid. I'm not saying that being disrespectful is the way to go. Obviously not. You have to kind of understand where all this outburst is coming from and what you as a parent have to do to step up and make things right. You know what I mean? Okay. I was gonna read another one, but I think that's all I can mentally take in today. That was crazy. If you would like me to continue this series, don't forget to smash that like button. Seriously, if you would like me to continue the series, please let me know. I will try to do my best to find like other types. These are so interesting to read. Like, this literally is just so interesting to read. People are crazy. People have audacity, so let me tell you. But leave your thoughts. I want to know what you think. If this person is the asshole, if they're not, why, etc. Let me know. I hope you enjoyed today's video. You are amazing. Thank you for being here. I will see you when I see you.